For this tutorial, we're going to recreate a UML class diagram shown here in Microsoft Visio. You can download Microsoft Visio from the Network Software website. Once you download Microsoft Visio, it should look like this. Go to Software and Database, double-click UML Model Diagram, and we're going to start with the employee class. So I'm going to drag and drop a class object onto this template. We're going to zoom in quite a bit so it's easier to see. Alright, so here we just have a generic class name, class 1. Let's change that to employee. So we click OK. Here's our class. To add methods to it, go down to operations and then put in our first one, which is get name. Now it returns a string object, so go to return type, find string. I find it easiest to go to the bottom where it says VB and click string, because VB usually has any of the types you want. Otherwise, it's really fine to click any of these, like if you wanted an int, C#. They don't have Java in here, so you kind of have to go with what they have. So we click string, OK, get name string. Now we have to add get hourly rate, go back to operations, get hourly rate, and that returns a double. So there's a double right here. Doesn't matter if they're different VB, C#. Now weekly pay. Now none of these take any parameters except for equals. So equals returns a Boolean. I don't like to use bool for C# because it's Boolean in Java. So if we go to properties, we can add parameters. So go to parameters, go into the second box, and our parameter is other of type object. So we should be able to find object right here. Click OK, and click OK. So now we have the employee class methods. To add the fields, double click it again, click attributes. Attributes is the same as the fields. Our first field is name. It's of type string. Scroll down, click string. The visibility should be private automatically. If it's not, I would make sure to check that it is. Then our second field is pay rate, which is of type double. Click OK. Now if you see these plus and minuses, the pluses mean it's a public method, and the minuses up here means this is a private field. So now we finished our employee class. We have our fields and our methods. Now we want to add another class. I'm just going to do 2 classes for this, so I'm not going to do the whole thing because it's repetitive. I just want to be able to show you all how to do relationships. So attributes real quick, this is the fields, hours worked, type int, here's int, click OK, see we got the hours int. Now do the methods, operations, get hours worked, returns an int, and we have weekly pay, returns a double. Click OK. Alright, so now we have 2 classes, and you can drag and drop these anywhere. I like to have them pretty organized, so I'm going to keep them one below the other. Now to do inheritance, we want to show that hourly employee inherits from employee. Just grab an arrow, wait for it to kind of like, you see the little red box at the top, let it go, then you can drag and drop the tip to point to the box above it. And there you have your inheritance. Remember, the arrow always points to the parent. You can think of it as hourly employee inherits employee. Alright, well, this is all you really need to know for creating UML class diagrams. To create an interface, there's an interface box actually right here. You can drag and drop. Let's say we had, just for explanation purposes, drag and drop interface. It'll say interface in these little arrows. Double click it. Let's just say we have person is the interface for employee. Click OK, and then you have your interface in person. To delete, click the box, click delete. Alright, now just for example purposes, say we wanted to make employee abstract, just click is abstract, Click OK, and then it should be italicized. That's how you can tell that a class is an abstract class versus a non-abstract class. Take that back out. In case you wanted to save this as a JPEG, make sure that the whole class diagram is not selected. Like if you had clicked this box and this was selected, if you saved it now, it would only save this box. Make sure you click outside of it so the whole thing will save. Click File, Save As. I'm going to name this UML example. Click Save Type As. You'll see JPEG file interchange format. Click that. Click Save. You'll see this box. The only thing I would change maybe would be the quality. Make it 100% so it's clear. Click OK. Then if we open up the image, we see a JPEG of the UML class diagram.